It wasn't shouted. It wasn't screamed in a moment of rage. It was whispered, steady and calm, as if she had rehearsed it in her mind 1,000 times. Her tone carried no hesitation, no mercy, just the chilling finality of truth. I froze where I stood, halfway between the living room and the kitchen. The glass of water in my hand trembled. My own wife, Sarah, the woman I had built a life with for 12 years, had just carved out my soul with 4 words. You don't matter. I wanted to believe I had misheard her, that maybe the stress of the argument had twisted her words in my head. But her eyes didn't lie. They were cold, detached, as if I was nothing more than a roommate she had grown tired of. I had been bending over backwards for months, working late, covering bills, cleaning the house, taking care of the kids while she drifted further and further into her phone, her nights out, her mysterious girls' trips. I thought the distance was just stress, that maybe she needed space. But this was no stress. This was contempt. Say that again, I whispered, almost daring her. She didn't flinch. You don't matter. Something inside me broke, but another part of me, the part that swallowed disappointment, excuses, and late-night lies for far too long, snapped awake. For years, I had tried to be the husband who endured, who kept peace, who loved enough for both of us. But in that moment, her cruelty cut the leash. So I hit back, not with my fists. God knows I'm not that man, but with truth, sharper than any blade. I set the glass down on the table, looked her dead in the eye, and said, if I don't matter, then neither does this marriage. Neither does the house, the family trips, the anniversaries I fought to keep alive while you were out sneaking around with your so-called friends. You want to talk about who doesn't matter? Let me tell you something. Sarah, you don't matter to the man you've been sneaking off to meet. You're just as thrill his distraction. You're too blind to see you've thrown away the one person who actually gave a damn about you. Her face drained of color. She blinked rapidly, the first crack in her icy facade. How? She started. Oh, you think I don't know? I cut her off. The late nights. The lies about working late, when I've already called your office. The lipstick you try to scrub off your collar. Sarah, I'm not stupid. I've known for months. I just wanted to see if you'd ever come clean. But tonight, you gave me my answer. Her lips parted, but no words came. She looked like a deer caught in headlights. I pressed harder, my voice low and steady. You said I don't matter. But here's the truth. You don't matter anymore to me. Not as my wife. Not as my partner. You made your choice when you laid in someone else's bed. Her hands trembled. For the first time, I saw fear in her eyes. Not fear of me, but fear of losing control. You can't just walk away, she stammered. The kids, I said, pointing at myself, are the only reason I stayed this long. And don't worry, I'll fight for them. I'll fight harder than I ever fought for you. Because unlike you, Sarah, they do matter. Tears welled in her eyes, but I didn't let myself soften. Not anymore. I picked up my car keys from the counter, walked to the door, and paused just long enough to deliver the final blow. You spent years making me feel invisible. Tonight, you wanted to bury me with those words. But here's the thing. Men like me don't stay buried. You'll look back one day and realize I was the best thing that ever happened to you. And when that day comes, when you're alone and wondering why no one stayed, remember this night. Remember what you said. And with that, I walked out. The slam of the door echoed like a gunshot through the house. For the first time in years, I felt free. When I walked out that night, I didn't have a destination. I just drove. My hands gripped the steering wheel, so tightly my knuckles turned white. The streets were nearly empty, and the silence inside the car was deafening. Her words, "You don't matter," looped in my head over and over like a cruel song stuck on repeat. Every mile I drove, memories came flooding back. I remembered the first time I met Sarah. I was 26, just starting my career, still paying off student loans. She was 24, radiant, with a laugh that could light up a room. We met at a mutual friend's barbecue, and she made me feel like the most interesting man alive. We spent the whole night talking about dreams, about building something together. Back then, the idea of us seemed unstoppable. We got married 3 years later. I worked hard, built a home, gave her everything I thought she wanted, and for a while, we were happy. She used to smile at me like I was her anchor. She'd squeeze my hand in public, like she couldn't wait to show the world I was hers. But little by little, things changed. At first, it was subtle. She'd spend more time on her phone. She'd go out with friends and come back later than she promised. She laughed less at my jokes, rolled her eyes more often when I spoke. I chalked it up to stress, to the pressures of parenting, to the grind of life. Then the lies started. Small ones, but lies nonetheless. A dinner meeting that didn't exist. A weekend trip that didn't add up. I wanted to believe her. God, I wanted to believe her. Because when you love someone that deeply, you convince yourself the cracks aren't really there. But tonight, she confirmed it all. I pulled into a quiet parking lot near the lake, killed the engine, and just sat there. The reflection of the moon shimmered on the water, and for the first time in months, I let myself cry. Not because I lost her, because I realized I'd already lost her a long time ago. And yet, despite the heartbreak, something inside me shifted. Her words didn't destroy me. They freed me. For so long, I've been shackled by hope, by the belief that if I just tried harder, she'd come back to me. But when she told me I didn't matter, she gave me the key. That night, I slept in my car, staring out at the water. I didn't want to face home yet. The next morning, my phone buzzed with missed calls. Sarah, of course. I ignored them. By the time the sun rose, I had already decided. I was done being her safety net. When I finally returned home later that afternoon, she was waiting at the kitchen table. Her face was pale, her hair messy, like she hadn't slept. "You didn't come home last night," she said softly. "No," I replied, dropping my keys on the counter. "I didn't." Her eyes searched mine, desperate now. "I didn't mean it. What I said last night, I was angry. I didn't mean it." I almost laughed. "You meant every word, Sarah. You just didn't expect me to call you on it." She reached for my hand, but I pulled it away. The look on her face told me everything. She wasn't scared of losing me. She was scared of losing the stability I provided, the bills paid, the kids cared for, the roof over our heads. That's when I hit back again. "I'm filing for divorce," I said flatly. Her mouth dropped open. "You can't be serious." "I've never been more serious. I'll take care of the kids. I'll make sure they're safe, loved, and shielded from this mess. But you and me, we're finished." The color drained from her face. She realized she had pushed too far. And for the first time in years, I felt in control.